Breathing is a big part. Positive thoughts, be optimistic. The difference, I guess, between the guys who are able to be biggest champions and the ones that are struggling to get to the highest level is the ability to not stay in those emotions for too long.
In a parallel universe, if Novak Djokovic worked in your office and he encountered a failure, you would never see him overly optimistic. Here's why. Hi, my name is Gagandeep Singh. I am an organizational psychologist and leadership coach. My mission is to make every Indian corporate professional mentally fit and performance ready. And in today's video, we are going to talk about how Djokovic stays away from optimism to boost his match performance. I love what Djokovic says about optimism.
I don't like this kind of a mindset that I see a lot in sports, like just think positive thoughts, be optimistic. There is no room for failure and stuff like this. It's impossible to do that. You are a human being.
And in the parallel universe where he is a corporate employee going through the same challenges of the corporate world like you and me, he would approach disappointments very, very differently. He would not try to fake a smile. He wouldn't sugarcoat failure. He would instead take a deep breath, create an action plan, and then bounce back faster from the failure than anyone else in the room. Because in this parallel universe, Djokovic is not just winning tennis Grand Slam. He's winning the corporate game through emotional intelligence. Now here's the part most professionals get wrong. They think high performers always think positive. But Djokovic, he doesn't live in denial of optimism. He doesn't create positive delusions for himself to stay focused. He makes peace with negativity and still wins the game. Now let's apply this concept to your world. Imagine you are giving a critical presentation in front of a big potential client regarding a multi-million-dollar meeting and you bomb the presentation. Your client stops responding to your calls. Your manager downgrades your performance rating. You lose your annual bonus. Your promotion goes on hold. And suddenly, all your thoughts become extremely negative. You have thoughts like, I am failing, I can't handle this, I am not good enough, my career is finished, my bosses will never accept me anymore, I'll never find a better job, what is going to happen? And all of this negativity is then followed up with some optimistic thought, such as, just be positive, push through, smile, it's going to be all okay, you're just going to be fine. But is it going to be okay on its own? In a crisis situation, optimism is definitely better than pessimism. Absolutely, I agree with that. It helps you not get caught up in the waves of negativity. But over-optimism may also take you farther away from the truth. And Djokovic is absolutely right when he says he doesn't encourage over-optimism. Because you are human, you feel stuff, and you are supposed to have negative thoughts. It's part of your biology. Even the biggest of champions have a lot of negative thoughts. And you cannot fool your brain into believing what's not true. Djokovic knows this about human psychology. He doesn't try to be overly optimistic. He acknowledges the failure, processes it, and then tries to focus on the next serve. This strategy takes him closer to the truth. And this is the science of sports psychology. Mental frameworks used by elite athletes, by champion athletes for delivering high performance in competitive settings. I have spent the last 8 years of my life coaching professionals across 6 continents, senior professionals from companies like Microsoft, Facebook, Apple, Tesla, JP Morgan, American Express, and many more. And in my experience, the people who grow the fastest, they are not the ones who avoid failure or who are always optimistic. In fact, the most successful of people encounter failure more frequently than an average performer. But these are also the people who recover the fastest. So how do you train your brain for such quick recovery? How do you build this skill? Well, next time you encounter any kind of failure, do not deny it. Don't run away from it. Name the feeling, label the feeling, feel the feeling, and process the feeling. You're supposed to feel all of these emotions, so there is no need to suppress them. Take a notepad, write down your takeaways from the failure, use a pen and paper, and then try to create specific actionables that you can take to avoid failing in the same trap the next time. Remember, the actions should be very specific and trackable. For example, if you bombed a big presentation in front of a potential client, create an actionable for yourself that every time before a client meeting, you will rehearse the presentation at least 5 times. And I am not saying planning the presentation, I'm saying rehearsing it out loud. Now, this is because repetition boosts confidence and it reduces your chances of bombing the presentation the next time. So you don't have to be optimistic for the next time. You don't have to drown in the feelings of negativity because of your past failure, but you just have to process the feelings, learn from it, and move on. Greatness is not about never getting knocked down. It is about the speed of your recovery. Processing helps us shift from shame to strategy, from confusion to clarity, and from noise to focus. And if this strategy works on the center court for Djokovic, it will very well work in the conference room also. And that's what the corporate Djokovic would do in the parallel universe. If you have ever bounced back from a low point at work, I would love to know what your story was and how did you manage to come back from a failure. I would love to hear more about your stories. And if you found this video helpful, tag someone in the comments who handles pressure like a pro. And if you found this video helpful, feel free to share it with your friends and family members. My name is Gagandeep Singh. I am an organizational psychologist and I will see you again very soon. Jai Hind.